Welcome back to the Rich with Raven YouTube channel. So today I want to share an inspirational story about going from the prayer closet to profit. My channel is for Christian entrepreneurs that aspire to be high earners because you know that the Lord has called you to a higher level of wealth. So before you go, make sure that you click the link in the comment section to get access to all the resources that I have to help you with elevating your business financially. So the prayer closet to profit, you guys. I will never forget, this was 2022. So by that time, I'm a seasoned entrepreneur. I'm talking about I have been an entrepreneur for like 13 years. I had been self-employed at that time for 11 years, but I was really starting to feel like I wanted to do something different. I was really starting to feel like I wanted to do something new, but I just was not sure what that was. And so this was something that I took to prayer. This was something that I took to the Lord in fasting. And so in my time of prayer, in my time of fasting, the Lord did not give me a business idea. He gave me a name. He told me somebody to reach out to. He told me to let them know how one of the businesses that I had at that time, I want to say I had that business for like 5 years. He told me to inform them how I could assist them, and he also basically introduced me to a different way to get paid. I was no longer getting paid in a traditional like retainer way, and it was something that really changed the trajectory of my business. It changed the way that I looked at business. It changed the way that I looked at marketing. And when I tell y'all, like, all of this literally came from me going to the Lord in prayer and asking the Lord what to do, what is my next step. And so I want to just quickly share some lessons that I want you guys to take away from that testimony. First and foremost, like, don't go to God and have this mindset that God has to answer me in a certain way, because that almost put me up, because I felt like I want to do something new. And so I'm expecting the Lord to give me this like breakthrough idea. You know, I'm expecting the Lord to drop this new business on me that I've never heard about. I'm expecting that I'm getting ready to reinvent myself. I'm getting ready to reinvent my business, and everything is getting ready to look new. I'm expecting all of this. And really what the Lord does is show me how I can better work what He's already given me. And so it's a blessing, because it's not always about the new thing. Sometimes it's stewarding the things a little bit better that the Lord has already given to you. We know the Bible says in the book of Proverbs that your gifts will make room for you. And I feel like, I know we're talking about profit. I know that I'm sharing a testimony about my business, but I feel like this is such a testimony about how your gifts will literally make room for you, because here I've been operating in that business for 5 years at that time, and it had always been a very successful business. It had always been a very profitable business. It had always been a business that I didn't feel like I had to overwork to be successful. You know, it was almost like it was truly like the Lord blessed the work of my hands. Like, I didn't have to like do all these things to get clients. It was like the Lord would literally just bring the clients to me, right? So the business was always blessed, but just the Lord showing me like that one different way to operate in my business, that one different thing to change in my agreements with my clients, it completely changed everything for my business. So don't expect the Lord to speak to you in one way when you go into prayer. That's one lesson that I want you guys to take away from this. Another thing that I want y'all to take away from this is be open to being behind the scenes. I think sometimes when we go to God and we're looking for like that next big thing, sometimes we always feel like that next big thing, because it's big, it has to come with enlarged territory. I'm gonna tell y'all, this business that I'm talking about has never had a social media page. I have never had to promote it on social media. I have never ran ads to this business, and literally it has just been successful. It's probably a lot of people to this day that still don't even know that I operate, you know, this business. And so I love the fact that the Lord has given me such a gift that I don't always have to be present. I don't have to show up on social media to make money. You know, I don't have to post 3 times a day to get a new client. I don't have to do all of these things that everybody else says that you always have to do. So I love the fact that the Lord allows me to be low key, but high key paid. I don't know about y'all, but I feel like that's how we should want things. I could be low key. I don't gotta be on social media if I don't want to, but at the same time, I am high key paid. So don't underestimate spending time in the prayer closet with the Lord. And last thing that I want to say, don't rush his answer. I think sometimes we make the assumption that I go in the prayer closet and the Lord is going to answer me before I leave. I'm not about to come out until the Lord answers this prayer. But I need us to understand that God does everything in his timing. And his timing is perfect. I prayed that prayer in the prayer closet and I didn't really feel like I got anything immediately except that I needed to wait. And you know, we don't be liking to wait. You know, when I go to God with something urgent, I'm like, come on. I want to urgently hear. But that's not how the Lord works. Sometimes, you know, that can happen. But that's not always how things work. And so a couple days later, I was getting on a plane, and immediately as I was boarding the plane, that's when the Lord told me who to reach out to. Imagine I was just sitting in a prayer closet. I got my notes, all that. I could have been writing stuff down, and the Lord wait until I'm busy to speak to me. And that's why it doesn't matter what we're doing, whether I'm boarding the plane, whether I'm getting in the shower, whether I'm talking to somebody. We have to be open to hearing from the Lord at all times. And I think sometimes as business owners, especially those of us that are seasoned and we've been business owners for a really long time, it's easy to get caught up in our way of doing things. It's easy to just have the Lord on the calendar, but sometimes God needs to disrupt that entire calendar so that he can get your attention. Sometimes God needs to disrupt that entire calendar so that he can show you a new way of doing things. So I pray that this video encourages y'all to go to the Lord in prayer. Don't forget to click on the link in the comment section so that you can access all the resources that we have to help you grow your business.